about supply chain management and deal with that in my internship, and they ate it up. So remember, you tailor your elevator speech to the company if possible, but always have a question at the end and be confident with it.
All right. Adopt the Barney I love you, you love me strategy. And that is thank them again after talking to them for their time. Assure them that this is not the final goodbye. And be sure to keep in touch with them after that and follow up with them. And be sure to ask about their contact information if they can share it with you.
All right, so we've talked about all these things you should do and what's the right thing to do, so let's bring in the do nots. So, first thing, and sometimes this one's kind of easy to gloss over, but don't walk around the career fair with big groups or like groups of friends. Reason we say that, well, number one, I know personally it helps make you feel more confident sometimes when you're in a group. A lot of us, that's a really good thing. You want to be with the squad, right? That's always the good thing. But in reality, it's better to be on your own and get things prepared and all that good stuff. Personally, I would say there was one time when I was actually a freshman where I walked around in like a group and was going around, and instead of practicing elevator speeches and getting prepared like in my mind, I was too busy distracted messing around with my friends, so then when I got there, I was somewhat at a loss of words. And that's not a good thing to do. And plus, when you're walking around in that big squad of group, it attracts a lot of attention to you, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily all positive attention. Second thing, like Musab said earlier, don't come up to the employer and say, hey guys, what do you guys do? Because the first thing in the employer's head is, okay, so this guy he's just kind of walking up here, hasn't looked into us at all, doesn't know anything. And that just shows, instead of seeming like a college student or a person who's come up there to learn more about the companies there and you're interested and you're trying to learn more, instead you just come across as a guy who's, hey man, I'm just here to get a job. And like as a matter of fact, man, you don't want to be that person. Last thing, again, Musab, we glossed over that as well. Don't approach just the more prestigious companies. You want to go and broaden your search. Because again, if all you do is approach just the prestigious companies, one, you'll probably be stuck in line a lot. I'm sure there will be plenty of people there, and you're passing up opportunities of visiting those smaller companies who might be more willing and more open, a lot more open to talk and offer things just because you mainly decided to come over there and give them attention instead of just staying with the prestigious companies. And the last thing is, don't get discouraged at all if your major or concentration is not there or it's not being recruited or anything of that nature. Another story that I had is I recently, crazy enough, because of my LinkedIn, which you all should get, I had recently I've recently been switched to my major, and this person emailed me. They saw my old major that I had previously, which was math. And they emailed me explaining to me about a software developing job that they had open, and they thought I'd be a very good fit for it. And when I emailed them back and I told them, well, I am switching over to finance, but if you guys have any opportunities, I'd be really interested. And in recent talks, they actually do have open opportunities. So don't leave it just because it seems like it doesn't fit for you. Always, always give it that chance, always. And last thing I want to mention, definitely get your resume looked at. It's good to not have many errors on that resume. You want to be prepared and have it so when the employer, if they do look at it, at least it looks clean and sharp. For example, how many of you guys have seen Star Wars Force Awakens? How many people? Okay, nice. So you see like the stormtrooper over there, see that could be like Finn on the movie when he didn't look, maybe he didn't get his resume looked at, that's why he ended up in sanitation. Maybe that works. Alright.
After the career fair, write thank you letters or emails. Employers have been asked, do we really actually need to handwrite some thank you letters, or is it okay to email? Many have said it's okay to email. Just again, make sure it's professional, and we'll actually have an example coming up soon about how to professionally professional thank you. Apply for the internship, co-op, or job. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so the employer knows like you just weren't talking to them and wasting their time. Stay in touch with the employer, again, with the thank you. Just because you send a thank you doesn't mean that's, again, where the conversation ends. Stay in touch with them. Maybe at the end of the semester, send them another email updating them on some of the classes you took if it pertains to that internship opportunity or if it pertains to their company. And connect with them on LinkedIn. Very important. It looks very good when you have a LinkedIn, when your LinkedIn looks professional. Connect with them. Another platform for you to stay in touch with them and for them to see what you have going on professionally and school-wise going on in your life.
Alright, so here's our example, and I know not everyone was able to get the job search guide, but this is actually directly out of the job search guide, so that shows, again, that job search guide is a very important tool. And so here's an example of the thank you letter I have right here. Not quite tailored towards a career fair necessarily, but really the general structure and the idea is kind of the same. So one, you want to start off addressing whoever it is. If you have a specific name, which I hope you would, maybe you got a business card or something of that nature, you want to address them specifically by name, whether Mr., Mrs., Doctor, and so on. The next thing you want to do is kind of what I call like a reminder, or like we were talking with the Barney method earlier, like I love you. So mentioning how when we encountered, it was a pleasure to meet you, and at the engineering career fair, let's say, and you can mention, again, glossing over kind of like a mini elevator speech, saying, when you're graduating, your major, and maybe currently what you're doing in the professional working world. And the next thing I would recommend is the second paragraph. You talk about, again, kind of those abilities you brought to the table, kind of mentioning, glossing over what you could bring, not necessarily as you would with your elevator speech. It would more so be in the style of kind of like reminding them of you. So mentioning, hey, my name is so-and-so. I was talking to you at the engineering career fair about this position at your workplace, and I thought that I could bring A, B, C, D, so on and so on, listing those qualifications. And the last thing at the end of that email, you want to mention that you appreciate the time that they took out with you. If you spend time with any person, they always appreciate if you respect their time. So you want to show a way that you're respecting their time and all of things of that nature. So that's how you end that, and of course have a simple salutation at the end along with your name as well.
Is it preferred to use email instead of maybe like a LinkedIn message if you're other companies on?
I would definitely say an email, and even if you'd like, you could even do the old school snail mail, which a lot of people, of course, in modern day technology, a lot of us are like, nah, I'm not doing that. But there's nothing wrong with that. That is a very personal way of doing it, and I think that's a very good connection.
There's also a character limit on LinkedIn. So send them an email or send them the snail mail message, but then also when you're connecting with them on LinkedIn, and if you come to our LinkedIn launch in a few weeks, you'll learn, don't just do the common, I'd like to connect with you on LinkedIn, which is the default. You can personalize the message when you're sending them a connection. Very, very important. Again, showing professionalism. So that's two great follow-ups that really help set you, show you, and stand out. Helps you stand out. And another thing about addressing the person. So yes, Ms. Collins, Mr. Potter, however you want to say it. Make sure you never say, hey, so and so, or just say hey. Hey is not professional. I probably also stay away from the word hi. So if you want to say hello, Ms. Collins, that's very professional. Not hey, Ms. Collins, not hi, Ms. Collins, or you can say Ms. Collins. So, yes, question.
When you say connect on LinkedIn, are you saying like connect with the actual person you talk to on LinkedIn, or like just like follow the company on LinkedIn? Because would they find it creepy if I like connected with them on LinkedIn after I talked to them?
Definitely not. Connect with them personally on LinkedIn, but also follow their company. Because that again shows interest, so that if you ever apply for an internship, co-op job there, and they may Google search you, or they may check their social media platforms to see if you follow them. Again, it's showing interest, especially because LinkedIn isn't as popular as, say, Facebook or Twitter to follow people on. So do both. Great question. Any other questions? All right.
Don't be the one who ignores the opportunities that come knocking at the door. utilize the CDC services. They are certified professionals that give you and offer really free services like resume critiquing, like mock-up interviews, and they have walk-in hours Monday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. I talked about resume earlier, and there is actually a whole launch workshop that is solely for resumes in the future. So check that as well. You might want to go to that. And well, you should know that bus 5 or varsity takes you directly to the McKimmon Center during the career fair. And if you get lost there, check out the NC State Career Fair Plus app. It has a nice map that can help you navigate through the McKimmon Center. And there is actually a handy list of companies that are there in the lab. But before all of that, talk to your professor, because I'm sorry, it's not an excused absence.
As you mentioned, resumes. Next week, Tuesdays and Wednesday, resume launches. Come back for those. Or again, who here actually knows where Pullen Hall is? By show of hands. All right. Pullen Hall is by Witherspoon, or like here's Dan Allen, here's Witherspoon, here's Pullen. So Pullen's on that corner, also right across from the OIT building. They're very nice people. We're very nice people. Don't be afraid to stop by. I've stopped by before I was an ambassador. Helped me a lot to help me prepare right before the career fair. You can also make an appointment with your college ambassador, with your college career counselor via EPAC, because each college has their own. The Pullen Hall is their main center, but they also have satellites in other buildings. And then also, so most of the career fairs are in McKimmon Center, but the Design Expo will actually be in Lazar Hall. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but if you're a design student, you know what I'm talking about. So just wanted to mention those few things. Did we have a question? Yes.
There's parking at the McKimmon Center, right?
There is parking. Yes, great question.
Students are not allowed to park there at the engineering career fair. So I don't know if about that or career fair.
But for other ones, you can?
There's a nearby parking lot. I think the varsity bus or some other buses. There's some parking lot specifically for people picking up a bus nearby. I think that's just past McKimmon Center. So you should be able to park there. Again, there's also the varsity bus goes there. So if you don't know what else to do, just hop around on the varsity bus. Question?
If you park in the varsity lot, they will totally give you a ticket if you get that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, don't
Only just park in the parking lot. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Good point. The varsity bus makes many stops around campus, so wherever you have your parking pass, or if you need a friend to drop you off near one of the bus stops, check out the app. Also, the NC State on-campus app has the bus, not the on-campus app, there's a rider app that shows you the bus routes and where all the stops are for each line. So you can also see there where you can pick up the varsity bus to get to McKimmon Center. Yes?
If I'm not mistaken, there's a shuttle that is behind the Coliseum parking deck that usually goes to the career fair. At least I think it does in the fall one. I'm not sure if it does.
I'm not aware of that shuttle, but I
It
will.
might just be during career fair. Although
The engineering career fair is huge. Even colleges that are nearby come to it. People from across North Carolina come to this engineering career fair. So that's possible, I'm just not aware of it. If we don't have any answers to your questions, feel free to, again, email your career counselor, stop by Pullen, and someone will definitely either tell you the right answer or find out for you and get back to you.
Just to answer you, Miriam, yes, there are actually, I think, 2 shuttle buses. One for the city on campus and one here. I'm not really sure where exactly it's located, but I think it's across the Coliseum, the gymnasium, or
And here is a list of all the career fairs that are taking place this semester, so if you want to quickly write them down. This is also online on the Career Development Center website, on EPAC. If you want to write them down, take a picture of the screen right now. So again, don't just go to the career fair that's for your college. Go to other ones. If you're in CALS, go to engineering. If you're in engineering, go to CALS. If you're in CALS, go to pool. You get the idea. Because you never know what kind of connections you'll make that can help you in the future. Again, engineering career fair is next Wednesday. the pool career fair is that Friday, and then CHAS, I believe, is the following Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, February 10th. So they're coming up soon. So put those on your calendar and make sure you go. And
Any questions?
any final questions? Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
I think most of the internships are actually paid.
Many internships are paid, some they will do class credit instead. That's something you can find out on their website or talk, maybe save that conversation for a little bit later, if you're talking about getting paid, but great question. Any other questions?
And for the class credits, you can always talk to your advisor.
Yeah, talk to your advisor. Alright. Thank you all so much for coming. If you have any questions, feel free to come up to us. Otherwise, we hope to see you at the next career fairs and at future launches. Thank you.